The Mirror of Nightmares. Deep in the heart of a gloomy forest stood a decrepit old mansion. It had been abandoned for decades, but rumors persisted that it was haunted. Some said that the ghost of a mad scientist roamed its halls, while others claimed to have seen strange lights and heard eerie noises coming from within. One day, a group of teenagers decided to explore the mansion. They had heard the stories, but they didn't believe them. They thought it would be a fun and exciting adventure. The teenagers arrived at the mansion late at night. The moon was full, and its light cast eerie shadows on the crumbling walls. The teenagers entered the mansion through a broken window. The interior of the mansion was dark and dusty. The teenagers could hear the creaking of floorboards beneath their feet. They made their way through the mansion, exploring each room in turn. The teenagers found nothing of interest in the first few rooms they entered. They were starting to get bored. But then they came to a room at the end of a long hallway. The door to the room was slightly ajar. The teenagers peered inside and saw a large mirror hanging on the wall. The mirror was covered in a thick layer of dust, but they could still see their reflections in it. The teenagers were curious about the mirror. They had never seen one like it before. They approached the mirror and began to clean the dust away. As they cleaned the mirror, their reflections began to change. Their faces became distorted, and their eyes filled with terror. The teenagers tried to step back, but they were frozen in place. The mirror showed the teenagers their deepest nightmares. It showed them everything they feared most. The nightmares were so vivid and realistic that the teenagers felt like they were trapped inside them. The teenagers screamed for help, but no one could hear them. They were trapped in the mirror of nightmares. One by one, the teenagers disappeared into the mirror. The last teenager to disappear was a girl named Sarah. Sarah's friends and family searched for her for weeks, but they couldn't find her. They eventually gave up hope and assumed that she was dead. But Sarah wasn't dead. She was trapped in the mirror of nightmares. Sarah spent years trapped in the mirror. She was forced to watch her own nightmares over and over again. She was driven to the brink of insanity. One day, Sarah had a vision. She saw a way to escape from the mirror. She had to destroy it. Sarah gathered all of her strength and smashed her fist against the mirror. The mirror shattered into 1,000 pieces. Sarah was free. Sarah returned to the world of the living, but she was no longer the same person. She was haunted by the nightmares she had seen in the mirror. She became withdrawn and isolated. Sarah eventually found a way to cope with her trauma. She became a therapist and helped other people who had suffered from traumatic experiences. She also became a writer and wrote a book about her experience with the mirror of nightmares. Sarah's story is a warning to all of us. Be careful what you wish for. You never know what you might find.